So, through the years, you asked for has always tried to bring you the latest, the most up-to-date features. Well, tonight, however, we're going to take you back a few years. Some of you older folks looking through the stereopticon will bring back the nostalgia of the old-fashioned country fairs. Now, for our younger audience, it'll mean an introduction to an exciting and breathtaking stunt that's rarely performed in this modern day and age. What is it? Well, look for yourself. Yeah, you old-timers probably guessed it. An old-time hot air balloon ascension. And thanks to a letter from Mr. Harold Eldridge, Jr. of Northumberland, Pennsylvania. Wait a minute here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it is. Thanks to his letter, we're about to turn a past memory into a living reality. He writes, as a boy years ago, I used to thrill to the sight of the old fairground balloon ascension. Now I have 2 boys of my own, and I would like for them to see the same stunt that fascinated the youth of my generation. Well, Mr. Eldridge, trapeze-riding balloonists aren't the easiest people in the world to locate, but we finally found our man, balloonist Ralph Wiggins. Getting a hot air balloon off the ground is no simple matter. Here in the first stages of preparation, you see the silk material carefully wrapped around a center pole. The next step now is to call upon the help of more than 30 men, and slowly the material is pulled out and away from the center. Open at the bottom, the balloon is made entirely from silk parachute sections. Stretched out on the ground, it measures 72 feet in length. A veteran of over 40 ascensions, this balloon is the dream of 3 men. They call themselves the Badger Balloon Company. Here, Ralph Wiggins unwinds the remaining material so that his 2 partners, Vic Heisler and Al Siebert, can work from the inside. Everything's planned. There's no room for error in this business. A sandbag is tied on, a simple device for bringing the balloon back to earth. Gradually, the silk is pulled out as far as it'll go. Otherwise, it might catch on fire when the inflation begins. Now let's go underneath and take a look inside. Here is the inflator, the heart and soul of a hot air balloon. Inside, nothing more than wood soaked with kerosene. The principle is very simple. Once the fire has been lit through an opening at the bottom, the heat of the fire creates a buildup of hot air within the balloon. And since this air is lighter than the cool air of the outside world, it rises to the top of the balloon and gradually fills out its shape. It's hard to believe, but very little warm air escapes through this transparent silk. Now, soon the fire is roaring. In less than 30 minutes, these men will be straining to keep the balloon on the ground until the signal for release is given. Oh, for a young boy, the thrill of a lifetime. Just like in the old days, imagine being chosen to hold a shroud line. At first, the balloon looks more like a circus tent. As soon as the hot air takes effect, the men are forced to let out more and more silk. For safety's sake, fire engines are on hand. Here's the helicopter for one of our cameramen. You got to hold tight. Gust of wind could be disastrous. Our aerial cameraman takes to the air. Time grows short. Now out comes the center pole from the inside. This is the critical moment. Almost inflated to full capacity, the balloon is held captive by that ring of men. Now the hole at the bottom is narrowed to its normal 16-foot diameter. From the air, it looks like a giant mushroom. Out of his coveralls now, Ralph Wiggins makes a last-minute inspection. From the men inside the balloon comes word all's ready. You can't help but feel butterflies in the pit of your stomach. And there he goes. 1,200 feet a minute. Only a trapeze bar to hold on to. For the 43rd time in his life, Ralph looks down at an amazed group of spectators. With the red-hot inflator and the hullabaloo of activity left far below, he rises into a silent world of his own. Now a knee hang at 1,000 feet. It's a cinch. when you have ice water in your veins. Higher and higher he goes. But only half the stunt is over. Still to come is the very dangerous triple parachute drop. The parachutes are contained in that small bag you see right there over Ralph's head. "2,100 feet now. Let's watch for the release. The balloon's beginning to tip. He pulls the ripcord. There he goes. One chute opens. Two chutes. And the third. Down he comes. One of the world's few licensed hot air balloon pilots. Its equilibrium gone, the deserted balloon slowly tips over. With almost 300 parachute jumps to his credit in his long stuntman career, Ralph is right at home. To prove it, why, more acrobatics, of course. Now on its side, the hot air and kerosene smoke pour out of the balloon. And back to the world of reality he comes. The balloon is now completely deflated, rides down on a parachute of its own. Look at the way he pulls on those shroud lines to guide the chute. I guess that's what they mean by knowing the ropes. Perfect landing, standing up, a tribute to the skill and daring of Ralph Wiggins. There you have it, Mr. Eldridge, from out of the past, a hot air balloon ascension, because you asked for it.